We are live. I was going to put it on real quick to see if it's up. Thank you. Yeah. Well, hello. How's everybody doing? Or one person, whoever you are. Oh, so we are doing a rebuild tonight. Well, rebuilding front and back of my truck. Back end's already done. We're going to go over the front, which we put it together, similar with arrmas, as anybody knows. So I got everything laid out, diff case, gears, etc., and that's going to go together. Excuse me, I missed dinner.
What?
Nothing. Just the wife. So, all right. As of late, I've been installing these gear side first because it seems that it's a lot easier to get the fluid in without having to make contact with anything. So I'm sure everybody knows how these go together essentially. Big washer, small washer. For some reason I'm missing the other pair. Did you check that, babe? Is it all good? Cool. Washer, shim. Yeah. Shim on the side, right? But on the gear side. Yep. And nobody's watching. It's all right. They're going to miss all the good diff stuff. So internal shim in order to... Oh. Roberto. Cool, man. What's up? Doing good, man. Thanks for chiming in and checking it out. So putting together a 6S differential. There's the crown gear or the ring gear. The pin. Those are those pins I tell you about we break all the time. And that big shim in there, that's because this doesn't have LSD plates in it, and these diffs are designed to run LSD. So we put that shim in instead, and that little shim is an extra thing I do to take up slack in the diff. So that's one of those little tricks and tips that this live stream is going to be full of. So the center of the diff case, that's just going to go in. I'm going to get some Loctite on that. Actually, not yet. Let me just start it off by assembling it dry in order to check the clearance, make sure that it's meshing properly. And same thing with the gear case and the housing versus the pinion versus the ring gear. So let me assemble dry to start, make sure everything's solid. There is a shim underneath that bearing there, a thicker version of the pinion shim as usually used for. I'm finding that's a new trick too. Usually you put shims on this side of the diff to push it over to tighten up the mesh. Oh, you can't see that right. You usually put shims here on the outside of the bearing to push it over in the case to mesh properly with the pinion. I'm thinking, why don't we just push the bearing over and have the same result, but with a better... It's really hard to get those thin shims on the outside, like they just bend and twist and get all screwed up. So I think this will be a better setup and easier to do. So that's one of my new tricks. There's a ton of videos online about building differentials, so I wanted to make sure I had it nailed down pretty good. And after 3 years, I think I finally got it. So there's our first pair of spider gears in there. And then our second pair of spider gears. Magnet makes a good thing to have to hold that thing up. How's the audio? If anybody can comment on that. Because I've been playing with it lately. I want to make sure everybody can hear me all right. Babe, you want to check that real quick?
I'm turning it up right now.
Yeah, don't turn it up too much. You get feedback. Oh, there we go. Okay. Audio's good. Thank you very much, Roberto. Appreciate that. How you doing, man? I heard you had to run a buddy up for a death in the family or something like that. Sorry to hear that. First of all, oh, this is the wrong diff housing piece. Give me a second. I'll be right back. I need a part. Mm-hmm. Getting low on EXP outdrives. So, however case, bearing. Don't even tell me I did that again. I'm an idiot. Hold on. Just trying to find the least worn, and I picked up the older style diffs have a smaller shaft, so you can't really use them. So here we go. All right. So that's that. And then you got your seal. There's a little O-ring on there. You get the sit. Like so. And also you can see the gasket for the housing is also in there. So I'm missing 2 washers for some reason. And shims. Is that Nick?
That's probably
Oh, right. Yeah, Nick's working right now, so.
He's closing. He won't be home until close to
Yeah, no, we'll probably be done with the live stream by then. All right, so there's that. Right. Okay. So, we'll probably cold most of the day on Tampa. I'm gonna be north Florida. Thank you, I go home. Gotcha, man. Yeah, that sucks, dude. But at least he's got a good buddy like you to help out. Yeah, it's a good thing. All right, so big washer, small washer, standard operating procedure per the manual. And then pin, cross pin, of course. Big washer. Now, here's another mod we do. If I can figure out where to put it. All right, so this big washer, the standard big washer you get in the kit, but we ground 4 little grooves in it on both sides because we've noticed a lot of wear on the big washer. Just the right spot like that. That ring on the outside, that's the, oops, drop my pin. That's the outer part of the washer getting worn down by that other washer on top of it, probably from high diff loads. But the idea is by putting those grooves in it, it'll hold grease or oil, whatever lube you got in there, and get a little less wear. And we have had positive results. That's just a old washer I'm using, an old shim. That's why it's already worn. All right, so we're just going to put this together with a couple bolts, check our clearance, make sure we're good. Pretty much you want to shim it until it's tight. When it gets tight, back it off a hair. And you'll break a lot less crown gears, the big one in there. So, yeah, especially with the freestyle thing, it took me a while to learn, but I got these diffs almost down pat now. All right, so we're going to check, and nice and smooth. It's got a little noise to it, but it's dry right now. So, but you only got that much movement. You can see that, that's it. So that's about as tight as you're going to get without making the thing run rough, over tightening the gears. So in this case, we're going to go ahead and put this together. So first things first, we'll grab the other side and go ahead and Loctite it up. We'll go crazy with this stuff, but you do want to use red on your differentials because if your crown gear moves, you're going to put a flat spot in it and it's going to be worthless. And if you ever get a screw that doesn't want to come out with some red Loctite, put a soldering iron on top of it for a good 5 minutes or so, and it will break free. So there's those two. You know what? I could probably do this a lot faster, but I actually don't want to install these with the gun but I'll take them out with the gun. Where is my gun? Right. That saves some boredom, doesn't it? So far we've pre-checked our clearance on the inside of the diff, shimmed it with one standard bearing shim, added a differential shim to the outer bearing underneath it between it and the crown gear, and cut grooves into the inside big spacers. So that's all the tricks we've done so far. Now, here's another one. Put your screws in the holes before you put the diff fluid in. That way you won't get fluid in there, because if you get diff fluid in your screw holes, your Loctite won't work. And that's another reason we put the gear on first, because you're more likely to get lube in it, obviously, when you're filling it. See? I thought this up on my own. Do I get a cookie? How you doing over there, babe?
Great.
All right, so got some 500,000 weight. And I don't know about you guys, but I store these bottles upside down for a reason, because it is thick stuff. Thomas, hey, what's up, everybody? Wrenching, preparing for tomorrow. Right on, man. What class you racing in? We got a 10 scale carpet over at K&K. Unless you know something I don't know. Right, so they actually have like a weight of fluid you're supposed to put in this guy, but I like to have it filled almost to the point where it comes out when you try to put your screws in, because you don't want that to happen. So I'm going to cut that off right there with that little gooey mound on it, and just let that sit there for a minute. These auto parts store magnets, I suggest getting them from O'Reilly's Auto Parts, because that's where this one's from. Work really good for holding differentials when you're filling them and whatnot. So now we're on to our diff case, or bulkhead. I always start with 1/6 shim. You say, yep, two-wheel drive buggy, right on. Vintage's Stadium. Cool, cool. Hey, Wire, what's up, man? Hey, I promised you something. So if you got a motor that's got like a lack of compression, right? What you do is you take your piston out, and hopefully you can find some kind of a lathe. If not, you can do this in a drill, but it's a little sketchy. You want to cut, let me draw that out for you. Where's that tablet I had? You want to cut an upside down 7 in the side of the piston with a metal cutting tool. 2 reasons. 1, you're essentially creating an oil ring. 2, the bottom of the cut will have it'll push outward on the piston, or outward on the cylinder wall, therefore tighten it up. So, yeah, I never won any awards for drawing, so shut up. Okay, so here's your piston, right? So you want to cut in here. You want to go like that, like that. I know it's exaggerated, but like I said, like an upside down 7. So down and flat. And you cut that groove in there. And I've done this several times. Not too deep, like, I don't know, 4,000ths, maybe 2,000ths. And give it a shot, man. It'll work. Done it before. I got that at an RC car action about 35 years ago. Anyway, so yeah, diff building right now, man. Diff in case, anyway. Excuse me. The so far, we got a shim from the rear end by hander with a Dremel. Like I said, you need a cutting tool like you use on a lathe, like for a metal lathe. You know what I mean? And then you can put it in a drill if you can lock the drill pretty tight, or preferably on a lathe. Even a wood lathe will work. You just need the metal cutting tool. If you don't particularly have a tool, you can take a chisel and put an edge on it, but I'd heat treat it first to make sure it's sharp enough to not chip when you're cutting the aluminum. You can heat treat in your backyard with a campfire. Just get it up to about 900 to 1,000 degrees, like good salmon color. Dip it in used motor oil, transmission fluid, whatever the hell. Quench it real good, and then I would also temper it by heating it back up to about 400 and letting it cool naturally, and that'll take the brittleness out of it. So yeah. Anyway, so the diff, right? Got a differential shim between the crown gear and the big washer. The big washers we use are cut in 4 places for oil groove, essentially. I'll show you one of those. Yeah, that's a good specimen. So, like that. These are the ones that replace the LSD rings or plates. So we cut those grooves in them to hold oil. Otherwise, they wear out the bottom shim pretty quick. We've had them almost cut through them. Yeah, man. I mean, like if you got a worn out motor that's like crap, try it on something first before you go taking apart a Pico or a Michael Salvin series or something like that, But that's cool. You're in gas, man. Yeah, I raced gas for forever. Of course, back then gas was king. If you want to go fast, yeah, Florida State Series. Actually, my 32nd national trophy, second place in the C main. Is up there. But yeah, man, I sold all my gear, got out of it for like 8 years, and then my wife wanted an RC car for Christmas, and I was like, okay. And then I modded it up, and one thing led to another. Here we are, and we have lipos and brushless. Oh my god! There you go, perfect motor. And you want to be like, I don't know, if you had if you were going to put the middle ring in a piston, you want to be right about there. Like not where the top ring is, not where the bottom ring is, but right in the middle. Someone give a stock a try. I don't know. Give it to my cousin. Will never use it. Yeah. Your cousins are. Like that one video I got. Anyway. Yeah, I used to have a compression tester actually. I think it was by Tower Hobbies or something like that. But that was a good way to kind of get it figured, to see if it was viable. What is up, Paul, my man from Scotland? Good to have you, buddy. Good to have you. Hey, I checked out your site, man. You got some beautiful pictures, man. The countryside is just gorgeous. Let me fill you in real quick. We're diff building, rebuilding my stunt truck, my Outcast 6S. So differential going together. We've got a rear end shim, like one of these tiny little guys, for pushing the thing over, the diff over. That sits on top of the bearing. We got one of those between the crown gear on the gear side to tighten it up. We tried it dry before putting it together. The mesh was good. If the mesh is too clicky, then back it off. Our big washers on the outside that replaces the LSD shims. You can see I've cut some grooves into that. Those grooves are for essentially to hold oil, which I hope it does. We've had a lot less wear on the outer shim because of that. Because as you can see, this is an older shim. You can see that it's quite. Where are we? There we are. See the outer ring there? That's not the case. That's a washer underneath the smaller washer. Or shim, whatever you want to call it. So anyway, that's everything we've done so far. Oh, a pinion shim underneath the bearing on the gear side. Instead of putting shims on the outside, there's such a pain to get in the case. I put a shim underneath the bearing instead. I think it's a better idea. I did it on my rear end, which I already assembled. It's all ready to go. Oh, and here's the lash I got. So this is how I like them. Let's see if I can get this right in the shot here. Okay, so pinion and gear, right? That's my lash. You can see it's barely moving. That's the way I like it. And this is totally free moving. That's with axles and everything. Turn it by hand, no problem. Especially with stunt trucks, it's the way you got to do it. They got to be super tight because they will eat tips all day. If you watch my wife's winning video from Armageddon in freestyle, you can hear that thing screaming bloody murder when she was trying to self-right it. Yeah, it's just click, click. The whole time I'm going, yep, I'm rebuilding that one tonight. But you know what? She won and she killed it.
It sounded like somebody stomping on a bag of Oh, what are those hard ones? I forgot the name.
Oh, I have no idea, babe. I don't know what you're talking about. It sounded like stomping on a bag of peanuts, maybe. I don't know.
Yes, something crunchy.
I don't know. Fingers? All right. So make sure you don't get any fluid in these diff holes, in the screw holes, because your red Loctite will not work. That's why I was wiping that screw off, and or the outer side of it. And I'm also going to wipe the screw itself. That silicone is terrible. Oh, smart move, adding oil reservoir grooves. Thank you. That's properly set up diff, minimal backlash. Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. I've been back in this game for about 3-4 years now, and I think I've finally got my diff game figured out. So if that tells you anything about how difficult it is to get them just right to where they work properly and don't implode within a day or two. Okay, right there. All right. So I got no fluid in my holes, it looks like. So we are ready to put the bolts in. And a little red Loctite. I like to just put it on the table and dip the tip of the screw in it. That way you avoid possibly overfilling. Just the tip, the wife says. Yeah. You don't go with your bat and your ball to not play the game, if you know what I'm saying. OS 15, how many like new range T-Max? I hope that budget when you mentioned it was just starting nitro and like tuning the carburetor, so I got a slide carb. You think the slide carb's easier to tune than a barrel carb? I mean, it's been a long time since I touched my tuning screwdriver, so I don't know, but it's just a question. Yeah, I mean, I think everything I had a slide on it except for my boat. My boat had a throttle exhaust. You ever seen one of them? So you take the carburetor off where the bolts that went into the carburetor were on both sides of the throat. You put in a jet, and then you chamfer that thing like an air horn. Oh, something ain't right there. And then you put a plate that goes through the exhaust, so when it's WFO, it's WFO. You know what I mean? Didn't feel that tight before. I wonder if I got something misaligned here. Oh, I hope I'm not throwing all kinds of stuff into my screw holes. Possibility sometimes to get the crown gear pin in sideways. Slide carbs hold a tune better. Rotary carbs more sensitive. Okay, cool. I didn't know that. I know slides were always bigger. Like if you got a slide for anything, it was always a bigger board. So I mean, that's I think that's what came. Yeah, that's what came with our motors anyway. Oh boy. Okay, looks like we're good on the. Okay, the gasket's trying to come off here, so now the screws have crap on them. But that one screw hole's got a touch in it, but not much. So screw hole cleaner. Check this out, right? Q-tip. Bomb. Dun, 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 dun. There you go. Another tip from the mad scientist, as they call me. Okay, so these have got to go now. Yeah, we have 4 more. Yeah, those are have to soak in the gas before they go back in. Get that stuff out of there. I don't know about you guys. That's the only thing I found to take silicone off. Yes, these are M&M containers. And I like them because you can do this. Find your screw. Or screws. And when you're done, which I will be in a second, I can find 4 of these little guys. Creating 8S to a mad high current castle using slack out the drivetrain and said gas in it. He creased it. Yeah, well, that's what's gonna happen. That's hilarious though. Say 8 or 6. He does, yeah. Dude, he does, man. I'm just like, I don't know about all you guys, but I'm just not sold. I mean, they're cool and all. Nick's got one. I've driven it plenty of times. It's just, I don't see it worth $1. And the upgrades are so expensive. Yeah, I mean, upgrades are just outrageous. I mean, 6S is expensive enough, you know? All right, come on, give me some damn screws. Where are all the short ones gone? Probably into everything I have. Oh, man, really? Okay, well, we're going to have to clean some screws real quick. No biggie. Get in there. All right, let's see here. You're gonna have to give me 1 second. My brake cleaner is in the garage, but I'll clean them here, despite things I've been told by my wife. Oh crap! Where is that? Okay. Be right back, guys. Right back. And I locked the garage door because I'm an idiot, so I had to go down the other way around. Okay, and we're back. 100 ounces of pure refreshing. All right. Roll them around, get that crap off of them. Yeah, so as far as diff parts, whatever I take them apart, and bearings, nice jug of gasoline. Usually soak them in there about a week or so. Oh, damn it. I'm still tomorrow. About a week or so, and then I take them out, so clean them up, brake cleaner, spray them down with air, soak them in Lucas for another week. Hydrate. Absolutely. When you work outdoors, you got to, my man, especially in this state. It's not about you guys, but I don't think the state is actually hospitable for humans. It's paradise for bugs and plants. And that's Florida, if anybody doesn't know. I mean, 2 hurricanes in a row. After the last 5 years, I've been through some stuff, man. I went through Charlie, Ian. There was another one in the middle there. Charlie, I saw the eye in Charlie. Got real nice outside for a minute. It was real eerie. Can't top 100 miles an hour with a 3, right? Right here, Ronaldo. Oh, you got a Rolaro? Dude, that thing's awesome. Sad to see Creighton go boom, but it was funny. Yeah, man. Massive carnage is always cool to see. It just sucks when you're on the receiving end of it. All right, so we got these all loctited in place and good and snug. Yep. And our diff feels excelente. I must have had the pin crossed out before. Okay, so now back to the case. We got our pinion in. You got to keep these things matched together, pinion and crown gear, or whatever you want to call it, ring gear, because they will wear certain ways and they won't work if you swap out something else that's worn differently. So I always replace them in sets when I can. And for a bulletproof diff, you definitely need an aluminum case and an aluminum housing, which this one is not. It's plastic, but you know, budgets. So, all right. Well, wasn't too hard to slide in with that shim underneath the bearing. Ooh, and that feels. There's kind of a tight spot in there, but let's see what we're looking at here. Yeah. No, that is. Let's see. Now I got to put the case on it, but so see if I show you the line, maybe you see. No, that way. It's tiny, but there is some. If you have one that goes together and you get a hard spot in it or a loose spot, check your mesh all the way around, because if your gear's not tightened perfectly all the way around, or if your gasket's got a thin spot or something like that. Excuse me a second. I'm gonna blow my nose. Okay. So anyway, yeah, if you got a hard spot or a loose spot, check that. Oh, and also, okay, so this is the cover. I don't know if you guys see it anywhere, but I've gone in and chamfered the edge where the outer shims would usually go. And I did the same thing on the case to make it easier to install those outer shims, even though I just developed a way of doing it without the outer shims. So, when I start out a bad bearing causing the mesh to suck. Yeah. If your bearings have any kind of wiggle, like if you hold the center race and try to wiggle the outside, do not use them. Hold on, we have a caller. Let's see. Hello, caller. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's me.
I know.
Yeah, you're just answering your phone. Yep, I just.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm good. How are you?
Not bad. This is my old friend Mike from I don't know how long we known each other. 30 years?
Yeah.
Probably.
That's cool. I'm good.
Oh, then that's 40. Almost. Yeah, about 32, something like that. What's going on, buddy? Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
I'm sure everybody can hear you. Trust me. So what's going on?
Not much. I just got home from work. Are you going to shop in your room?
Yeah, I've got 16 feet of excellent, pure, warped plastic table.
That is amazing.
It's phenomenal, I tell you. You can't set a car up at all unless you put something down on top of it.
Right?
You'll end up with 4 degrees of camber on one side and 3 on the other. RC Color Radio Show Trivia. Oh, there we go. Okay. Yeah, that's a good idea. Everybody out there, go and ask Mike something about me, and I'll read it back to him.
Okay.
Yeah, he said we're going to do caller trivia. So here we go. I'm going to wait for somebody to put something up and see what happens. If you had something different in mind, Haywire, let me know, because that's what I figured. All right, let's see. All right, so Harry Paul wants to know if I use molybdenum or lithium lubes in plastic gear housing. He prefers molybdenum in all metal boxes and lithium in plastics. What do I use, Mike? What kind of lube goes with my differentials in enclosed cases?
Lithium.
At the time me and him were racing together, he used to be my pit guy. He is correct.
Yeah.
However, these days,
You switched.
for everything.
Is it because the other stuff is thicker?
No, it's simply the fact that every time I take these back apart with that stuff, it looks like I just put it together.
Oh, okay. All right, so it keeps everything mint.
It seems to not, I don't know. It doesn't get like weird colored after a while. All right, cool, Haywire. Haywire uses the same stuff. He's on point with that. All right. Hey, Mike, what's the average velocity of an unladen swallow?
Okay.
Oh, come on. If anybody else out there knows that, let me know.
An unlaid swallow?
Unladen. What is the airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow?
You got me, bro.
Oh, K&K Hobbies. This is my local hobby shop. They also have an eBay store. They sell everything pretty much at the same price you get on eBay, even at the store. And they got tons of arrma stuff. Red Cat, Losi, Associated. There's a couple other brands I'm missing here.
Does Associated still make, or they make battery cars too?
Dude, they just came out with a throwback clear plastic RC10 OG. The original RC10. They're up to like, I don't know, RC10 10 now or something, whatever.
Yeah. but I know that you used to have.
Oh, hey, Mike, what shirt am I wearing? Never mind. That's what Haywire wanted to know. Okay, here you go. Friggin' what shirt did I used to wear all the time when you and me hung out?
Oh Jesus!
It's a sports thing.
Does it have to do with the winter nets?
No, man, my Canadians jersey. Come on.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Mike wouldn't know K&K Hobbies because he doesn't live down here anymore.
No,
He visits it, and I mess with him.
the last hobby shop that was in Port Charlotte when I lived there was Haas.
Haas. Oh, that dude. Yeah. That was my first sponsor when I went semi-pro or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Auto House Hobbies.
Yeah.
But with the German spelling. Yeah. That dude used to be a photographer for Penske.
Yeah.
How many RC Basher drivers? Hey, Mike, how many RC Bashers does it take to change a light bulb?
One, because we know how to fucking do it.
Did you hear that, Paul? There's your answer.
Shit.
All right, Mike, who would win in a fight, me or Chuck Norris?
Chuck Norris.
I'm sorry, Logan. I love you, but Chuck Norris every day.
I'll agree with both of you guys. In fact, I think I would just collapse because my shadow would run away.
Yeah, probably.
If you go by Chuck Norris lore. Did you hear about the time Chuck Norris got bit by a rattlesnake?
Yeah, it took, what, three days for the snake to die?
Yeah, after 3 days of excruciating pain, the snake died. Good. I'm glad you got a laugh out of that, Paul. Awesome. This is cool, man. Honestly, I'm glad there's a couple guys hanging out. This is good fun. And I'm just sitting here assembling stuff. Yeah, no, it's cool. Yeah, Nick's at work too. Nick's slinging phones.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's things are good. Work's still going. They fired Bill.
No shit.
Yeah, dude. They told him they wanted him to work 70 hours a week for the same salary.
And he said goodbye.
He said no. And they called when he was supposed to be there, I guess, closing on a late night one night, and he wasn't there, and they came in and fired him the next day. And then this bitch, my district, comes and apologizes to us like 4 hours later. Like, dude, what kind of a yes man are you?
Right?
Yeah. Oh, wait. Mike, do you know how tobacco sauce is really Chuck Norris eye drops?
Yes.
The Tabasco. The tobacco. Yeah. I tried to blow that screen up so I could read it a little better, but not that I'm losing my eyesight. It's just there's a whole lot of lights in my face right now.
I don't know. I'm 47 years old and I'm fucking shit. It gets blurry from time to time too. So.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm 46, so.
Yeah.
You know.
It's just part of life.
Yeah, you gotta love when you go to bed without an injury and you wake up with one.
Yes.
Sorry.
How in the hell does that happen? I mean, really? It's like, okay.
Your wife kicking your ass in your sleep, huh?
I imagine she's probably beating me in my sleep for fun. And her subconscious does it sleepwalking too. Every single part of her wants to beat me to death. Right, babe?
Yep.
See, told you.
So I finally got one of those furry four-legged things.
Oh, you got a dog?
Yep.
What kind did you get?
It was my nephew's dog.
Oh, speaking of dogs, hey, come here, buddy. Come on.
He got into a scrap with a bull mastiff and got 3 stitches in his chest.
Oh my God! What? Oh,
He's a chug.
A chug of bug chihuahua?
Yep.
How in the hell did that happen?
I don't know.
Somebody was desperate.
The story of my life.
Yeah. That's good, bro. That's good. Oh, thank you.
But,
Yeah, he's Rhodesian Ridgeback, Husky. Apparently, his mom was a purebred Husky. I don't see any Husky in him except his ears. But yeah, he's got Rhodesian, but he doesn't have the calic but he does get the mohawk. First time I saw a cat from the nape to the ass.
Does he have like stripes in his fur?
Yeah. He's pure brindle, dude.
He looks like a
Oh,
tiger.
okay, all right.
Yeah. Yeah, people have offered me a deal of money to take him. And I said, no, it's my dog.
You're right.
And then
No,
Clara
my
had to
sister
cut his
has-
balls off before he could even get laid.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so we're putting the front end together here. No big deal, but we are going to polish these shafts. That's something I do with shock shafts and we
Those
call
are
them.
A-arms. Are they hardened plastic or what are
They're RPMs, bro.
Oh, okay.
That's all I run. Because you need something in the suspension area that will break.
Right.
Mike, okay. Is that question to me to ask Mike, or is that to me personally? Haywire just asked another question. Haywire, dude, by the way, built some amazing stuff. You gotta check out his channel. Okay, so Mike, if you were awarded $1 million, what is the first thing you would buy, and what is the first thing I would buy?
Shit. Ironically, it probably would be a fucking car.
How much would you spend on said car?
That is an interesting question. Are we talking about our high school money, or are we talking about?
No. Like right now, if you got a whole $1 million and that's all you got, and whatever you have before that, how much money would you spend on a car?
I wouldn't go more than 40.
Wow, good idea, man. Nice. Being frugal, taking care of business.
Yep.
I
And
get
it'll
it.
probably be some kind of a like a small truck, honestly.
Let me get a Frontier.
Yeah, something like that.
Right. Yeah, I get it. All right,
Remember
cool.
when we were in high school, the shop teacher had the Nissan 2000 or B2000 that he slammed.
No, I hold on a second. No, Paul, I don't roll like George Michael, bro. He said don't get caught polishing the shafts in public.
Oh,
Burn. All right. Anyway, let me answer that question real quick. $1 million. First thing I do, get I'd set up a compound. I'd have a house, a shop. I mean, nothing extravagant, just maybe an acre. House, a shop, probably a wall around it. That'd be about half of it, I'm guessing. Down here, anyway. If it was in California, you can't buy my house for $1 million. No, dude, seriously. Dude, seriously, my old house down here, the one that you went to,
yeah,
that's worth $500,000 in my hometown.
yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
You're talking about the one on Mountain?
Yep. What was it? 12 or 1,300 feet under air on 2 lots, which down here they're zoned for trailers. So a big backyard, 2 bed, 2 bath, split floor. Yep. In my hometown, that's easily $500,000.
Yep.
So anyway, so yeah, I'd set up a compound for about half of that money and put the rest in as much as I can keep in the bank or live off the interest. Thomas, drone cutting Lexan underpants with team associated reflex. Oh, cool. Where'd you get the Lexan sheet and what'd you pay for it? It's interesting. He's making Lexan sheets for the underbody of his associated.
Okay.
Yeah, like anti-grip,
Yeah.
So
I wonder if
well, they're on carpet down. They got a carpet track down here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's kind of a big thing, though.
Having your undercarriage on the Lexan sheet be easier for rail slides and shit too.
It's slide better, but honestly, because rails are usually steel and all these chassis are coated, we're not going to really have a problem there.
Yeah. Ow.
Oh, no. He's making them for oval to create downforce. So you're building diffusers, right?
Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, that makes sense. You're making diffusers,
Yeah.
yeah. Or, I mean, you could do skirts and do like, you could set all kinds of stuff up that way. I mean, I'm just thinking of all the different history of Formula One cars with, freaking downforce generating underbodies.
Mm-hmm.
you know, skirts and flaps, and I mean even the current generation of whatever the hell you want to call that. I don't know, whatever it is. Adrian Newey obviously invented it.
I'm so far out of the loop, man.
Oh, dude, you haven't been keeping up on that, dude? That's insane.
Yeah.
Oh, it's an all-in-one skirt splitter diffuser. Sweet, dude. That probably looks awesome. I wanted to make one for my Honda back in the day, but I got rid of it already. Working on servo-controlled wing. Sweet, dude. That's gonna be cool. Yeah, I saw somebody do that with a Rolalo. Or maybe it comes like that actually. But yeah, that's a cool setup if it works for you. You know, kind of like DRS. Yeah, just drop the downforce when you need to. Yeah, this wrench is getting beat. That thing needs to be refreshed. Back there for now. Where is the one I heat treated? Wrong size. Yeah. What's up, buddy?
Just a quick, off subject comedy question.
Is it something I can answer on air?
Yeah. Oh, I'm just trying to wonder if you have seen KFC's new chicken strip
I have not.
commercial.
No.
Okay.
I don't watch regular TV anymore. I watch YouTube and Netflix, and that's it.
Yeah, well, I gather that, but they have it's weird because their sauce is called comeback sauce.
What'd you just say?
You heard me correctly.
I didn't hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry. They have a dipping sauce for their chicken tenders called comeback sauce.
Like if you work at a shop and you have a comeback?
Yeah, pretty much.
Right. Why don't they just call it the Superman?
I don't fucking know. Why don't they call it the Kim Kardashian? I mean...
Wow. Oh. Bro, that was brutal. I love it. Are you not entertained?
But,
That was good. Man, dude. Honestly, dude. I mean, it's just like rolling with you back in the day, dude. Seriously, we could kill this whole live show thing if we were hanging out together, you know what I mean? We just rip off each other like we used to, man. Just roll with the punches and bust out mad jokes.
And I'd be sitting right next to you tooling on another car.
Yeah, well, I mean, unfortunately, my lovely wife doesn't want to work on cars right now, which I understand completely because I fix her cars all the time, so she's fucking spoiled.
Yep. I can tell you the name for your show. 2 Tools with Tools.
If nobody heard that, my wife said I should call this 2 Tools with Tools. No, you probably heard. I just want to make sure everybody else heard it. I don't know how good the audio is. I know it's there. I just don't know if it's loud or quiet or whatever. I've never had anybody ask me to turn it down, so there you go. All right, so I got a strip screw in the front bulkhead there, or the A block, as it's called. Front block on the front bulkhead. So I'm going to have to dig it out the fun way with the Dremel tool. So, Mike, what am I about to do?
Wait.
I've got a strip screw. I've got a strip screw right there. That screw is kind of out a little bit, but not out enough to get a drill head on. But I got to pull that screw out, and the Allen part of it is gone. What am I going to do, Mike?
Okay, you're going to cut a slot in it and turn it into a flathead.
My man. That's right. That's absolutely correct. I know most of you guys out there already knew that, but,
Yeah.
I just thought we'd quiz Mike for fun. Because I know he knows that. We're all 878 wing works well with a link to throttle brake. Not change servo horn link stock box. Okay, but doesn't that give you wing movement with the throttle, like proportionately? Because you wouldn't necessarily want minimum wing at maximum throttle, like you're coming out of a corner or something like that. But you would want it to go down with speed because downforce can decrease with speed, but it would make sense if you had it set up maybe on a third switch, or you could have it on a mixer with a time delay, maybe, something like that. Depends how you set it up. I mean, you don't want to lose your downforce coming out of a corner when you punch it. Otherwise, they would have never made up blown diffusers back in the day. with the exhaust overrun, working to pump out hot exhaust gas while they were off the throttle.
I mean, the purpose for a diffuser anyway is to dissipate the dirty air.
No, the diffuser is to create downforce, free downforce, because it doesn't create drag. The diffuser is one of the only aerodynamic devices that doesn't create drag. Hold on a second. Okay. All right. So Thomas said you could have it tied to RPMs. All right, but how are you going to do that, Thomas? Is there a if you have telemetry, you could do that. Right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that would work. All right. So everybody put their safety glasses on. What's that? I think I might need a bigger screwdriver. Yep, there we go. Come on, you little bastard. And this is why I hate countersunk screws and I hate button head screws. Because they have little tiny heads that always freaking strip. So I like using sockets on everything. But I thought it'd be nice to this thing because it's got these cute little convexes for the bottom of those button heads to go, or countersunk to go into. It's not like it's even necessary to have a countersunk here because there's nothing in front of it that's going to hit it.
Is it
just kind of stupid? I'll have to make that a trademark and put it in my opening video. Just kind of stupid. Hey, has anybody ever seen the video on YouTube of the head engineer for Chrysler?
No.
Google orangutan pees in own mouth.
What?
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah, I've been wrenching on cars for a long time. Damn it. I haven't been hanging Dremels on the wall for a long time, obviously. And I've seen some engineering misfaults, but oh my God. Chrysler just takes a cake. Probably because they're owned by Fiat now.
Yeah.
Yep. Fix it again, Tony. No offense if anybody out there owns a Chrysler product. I mean, they are like one of the number one cars in the country. Oh, wrong bit.
I don't understand how.
Well, I mean, okay, so one of the worst cars ever made, convertible-wise, is, we know. She said it, not me. Yell at her later. And it's also extremely popular. Did I really screw this up this bad? Yep, I'm retarded. All right. Jesus, man. That's what happens when you're talking and working. Anyway, but I can put a better screw in there now. Wing, we said 2.5 degrees, 100 miles an hour. Rock steady and braking profusely too. I imagine braking would probably improve because you're not putting so much downforce on the back, so you got better balance in the front. I know on my simulator, I always run a little bit softer spring in the front and a little bit less compression damping for that same reason. So I get that. 1-to-1 finish spur. I'm almost there. So setup will be different on standard gearing. What's your drivetrain gearing and your tire size on that? I got a gear calculator I like to play with. got the idea from Raz, or got the app from Raz anyway. Raz Schifrin, amazing Israeli speed runner. Check out his videos; they're wild. If you ever want to see what goes wrong in speed running and how difficult it is and how much it costs, check out Raz's stuff because it's all legit. He takes a 210 mile an hour car, bails it, but both batteries blow out of it that he just built first run. He builds this, it's a twin. Okay, he takes one of those big low-C gas things that have like the Weedier motor, the Fiscale or whatever the hell it is, and he electric converts it with, I think, two, what is it? Not Hobby Wing, but the two Castle big motors. And first time running it, didn't even put the body on it. Hit a curb at like 70. It's heartbreaking, bro.
It just exploded, didn't it?
Well, you can watch it if you check out Raz's channel.
Oh, okay.
Raz Schifrin. I'm just telling you because you should check it out. Yeah, it exploded, and they did it in slow-mo too. Ooh, hello.
So,
Fracture of the control arm. Yep. Oh, have you ever had bent pins you need to take out? Done. Yeah, all right. Let's see if I got one of these in stock. All right. Give me just a second, guys. Got to check the big box. Oh, where? Where's that damn control arm out? That's a front lower. Okay. Is it the right side or is it even the right make? Nope, wrong side. So watch, I'll have one in red and not in black. Damn it. This might be a problem. Okay. Well, that's just awesome. Oh, cool. Found one. All right. No, wait. That's the same as the other one I found. Do we only break control arms on that side? Guess we're going to run it for now. At least when it breaks, I'll know why. All right. Well, it is what it is. Plus, this pin is way more bent than I thought it was. Around here. Oh, yeah. Way better. Okay. So, if anybody knows where to get good titanium at a decent price, let me know because I'm trying to find bar stock to make my own pins. Waiting for local airports. Calculated speeds 144 with the motor topped out at 73,000. Just 107 out of the road. When you did your gear calculations, where do you put your voltage and your voltage per cell and your S's? Because I'm just saying, on this particular gear calculator, Raz says to cut your S's by 2 and to turn your voltage per cell down to 3.8 because under load, of course, you're going to drop, but not that bad probably. However, it gives you a more accurate representation of what your actual speed might be. And you'll probably be not disappointed instead of being disappointed by having your speed say, oh, it's going to go over 174 and you do like 100, then you'll be, but if it says, it'll do 90 and you do 100, you're like, oh, cool, awesome. Local airports. Is that like a yearly thing or a monthly thing? Or I know around here, airports don't shut down unless there's a bomb threat. Or a hurricane, yeah, there you go. Which is a lot more common than a bomb threat. A lot more common. Especially last month. Which is why I am ready to get the hell out of here. Nope. I have no ties left to Florida. No, Mike, Mom didn't die.
Be nice.
I'm being nice. She's probably watching. I didn't say anything, but Mom is taken care of, and I don't have to stay here. So we talked about it. We agreed on it. It's nothing hostile or anything like that. I keep forgetting I've got all my nuts over here. I'm like a squirrel with a bad hangover. That was a terrible fun joke. Sorry.
Well,
Yeah. I know. Oh. But that's one of those ones like, when it bombs, you can be like, dad joke of the day. I don't know, man. It's become like my second favorite hobby, telling jokes. Making people laugh is fun and should be enjoyed by all.
Oh, if only you were good at it.
Thanks, babe. Appreciate that.
You're welcome. I got you.
Yep, love you. You're kicking the face with a golf shoe. I see. I'll have to get that airport runway. Hell yeah, I know. Wouldn't that be sweet? Annual maintenance car shut down for 2 days. Oh, cool. Well, that's sweet. Man, lucked out on that one, huh? Off-road tunes for winter now. So you're doing speed running with the same car you do off-road? Sounds familiar. Well, I mean, it was an off-road car, and it will become an off-road car again as soon as I'm done. As soon as I get to the speed I think it can do. I'm not going to modify it anymore, but when I feel I've topped it out, put the buggy tires back on it, fix the suspension, and turn it into a long jump car. To the moon, Alice. Okay, so, all right, got that screw out. Put a couple of those little juicy, what do you call them, in? Socket heads instead of, yeah, it might help up with the axle first, right? Just so you guys know, before I started assembling this, I've already checked all the suspension for binding. I've checked the pins for straightness, and some had to be straightened because I'm out of stock on those. Checked the binding on the ball joints. I've checked the hub bearings, and I've checked the steering linkage, and I've replaced the steering linkage bearings. So that's why we're not going through all that stuff. And I know you shouldn't go all the way ugga-dugga in with the ugga-dugga, but I don't do it on any screws that I know are going to pop or strip, not because of the screw itself, but because of where I'm putting them in. All right, so here's a little trick to check bearings. You can hold the outside, you take a reamer, and just stick it in, and you can feel if they're rough or not. It's a lot easier than trying to find something that fits. So, it's beautiful. And halt and select side. There we go. Oh, Mike, friggin' Nick texted me earlier, Nick Westbrook from Cali.
Yeah.
We're texting back and forth. He's like, hey, man, friggin' like the beard. I'm like, yeah, friggin' my hair's so sexy it ran away. Or wait, I'm so sexy my hair left. He made like a right side Fred reference, so I busted that back on him. All right. Anyway, okay. So, gaskets for your cases, highly recommend them on aluminum housings because they just tend to vibrate and wear holes in your chassis. I mean, what do you want? All right. And, yep. So that's the car without all that. Stock arrma, electronics except for the servo. HR racing, front and rear braces, and a arrma TRL tuned Typhon chassis because it's the same size as an Outcast. It's lighter and it's cheap. You don't have to drop like $50 on it, or I mean, 120 or 130, whatever I paid for my Creighton one. So axle in. Oh, by the way, all of these axle joints, I put silicone fuel tubing in just enough to keep the axle from moving back and forth. Don't bind it up, but just get enough in there to keep it so it won't pop out if you have an extreme chassis tweak. Like if you land, all cockeyed and the whole thing bends just enough to pop it out. Try to keep it in the middle. Right, okay. And a little bit of four-step action. Not just for roach clips. I said, dude, it's really tough to get those axles in sometimes, trust me. All right, so. Oh, and being a new plastic bulkhead, I've already taken the time to thread everything because they do not come threaded. So it would behoove you to take some screws or even a tap if you wanted to and run them through real quick in order to have good working threads when you put it together. That way it's got threads before you pull on them. Actually, that's going to go back there. We need shorter ones in the front because it's aluminum. Right? Mike, what's the difference between ooh and ah? No, actually, these guys go through the bumper, don't they? No, they don't. Okay.
What's the difference between what?
Ooh and ah.
Um,
You don't remember that one, do you? I think my mom told me this. Actually, I know she did.
I can see her saying it on the back porch.
Okay. Let me write it down for you.
You there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Get it now? Is that delay that long, really?
Yeah, it is.
Wow. It's crazy. So what's the difference between ooh and ah?
I forget.
Damn. That's impressive, Paul.
You got it?
What size motor in that nitro? What, Mike?
No,
Oh,
I'm
okay.
still trying.
Hey, I'll tell you. 3 inches.
That's it.
I was wondering when you're going to recollect that one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, buddy. Man, I must have like misplaced a lot of screws coming apart on this thing. Either that or they're sitting in front of me and I can't see them right. Not that I can't see, but some stuff has probably been moved from here to there. Oh, you know what? Yeah, I can put that in because that goes in with the bumper. Okay, never mind. Don't know about you guys with your bumper situations, but I was running the Mojave setup on the Creighton for a while. Not bad, but a pain in the ass for maintenance. Like to take it apart to get everything out of the way to even get to your bulkhead and all that. Yeah, it kind of sucked. But I've been running the new RPM version of the version 2 Creighton back wing wheelie bar wing mount bumper skid plate assembly. And it's been skate park tested. Convert to the wait, okay. What says it? The center brace. All right, Mike. Let's here. Why don't you tell everybody a funny story about us doing something stupid? Don't get us arrested though. Remember, it's 5 years for the what do you call it? When you can do something, not get busted for it. Statute of limitations, right? Thank you, babe. Gotcha. Okay.
But in high school,
What?
I said we did a lot of shit in high school.
Oh, I know we did. That's what I'm talking about, dude. I'm doing a boring steering part until I get it together so I can show everybody. But come on, bust out one of those crazy stories. I mean, like, I don't know. You were there on the mailbox night, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was pretty funny. It was terrible that we destroyed people's mailboxes, but that's not the funny part of it. Funny part of it is what happened intermittent with that house.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of scary. All right, I'm sure everybody's chomping at the bit for this one now. No, maybe not. I don't know. Nobody's saying anything. Hey, if you guys want to hear that story, we'll tell you. But if you don't, that's cool. I'm just finishing up the steering linkage so I can show all of you how I've got mine set up. Maybe you'll get some ideas. Maybe you'll go, he's an idiot. Maybe, I don't know, whatever. But,
I can remember the time you and me got bombed.
Bombed how?
Bottles.
Oh, yeah. Well, you can tell that story. We're both legal limit now. So, which time? I mean, God, there were plenty. Oh, the time you actually got drunk.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Then there was also the time where we both got hammered and I had to carry you 4 blocks home.
I remember that one. That's a true friend right there. He's also bigger than I am. Yeah, that was very early in my drinking career. I don't think I was, I wasn't legal yet. I was like 19. No, I was in Europe when I was 19.
Yeah, we
17. Speaking of which, if anybody saw the last live stream, that picture I put up, that was me at 17 years old. That's the thumbnail for that last live stream. That's the same hat I wore all through Europe, by the way. The flat hat?
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. I was trying to find it. There was another thumbnail I wanted to use that I used for something else. Me just going like looking all crazy, and it didn't work out. What, man? Oh yeah, so Tuesday. Yeah, that's when I went crazy apparently. All right, so steering link is installed. Let's see. Here we got. I don't know the brand of the servo. I know it's powerful. It's all aluminum and it works well. With some Dubro steering links right there. And just a little spacer there. Yeah, a shock innert or something, or a shock ball end thing, and just to get it straight so the link doesn't bind. Cheap aluminum eBay toe links because that's all I had at the time, and I haven't gotten around to buying something proper because I haven't done the research on titanium ones. My back block here for the upper B block, I prefer the screw-in ones, the ones that have the pins with the set screws and all that. The set screws always strip out; they suck. These are still the same screw-in pins from before. You can put blue or red on them if you have problems with them backing out. I like that a lot better. It's a great piece. So there you go. RPM control arms, because you have to have something that will bend or flex in your unit. If you have aluminum everything, something will bend. Have you ever used solid fuel rockets on cars? Yes, I have. 1/8 scale CEN WRC rally car up to 109 miles per hour on road with old Gen X rocket and a 2X fuel block. I didn't use something like reloadable or anything cool like that. When I was a kid, I took an RC-12, the pan car, whatever the title was, the little 12 scale job. And we mounted some brass tubing to it that would fit a B-sized hobby, rocket size motor. And then we actually had it come up in a 90-degree and back, and then we put the chute in on the back of the 90-degree, so it actually have a drag chute when it went. And I have no idea how fast it went. I mean, we didn't have a radar or even these cool little GPSs we have now, but it was pretty cool. It accelerated very slowly, but man, it must have been hauling at the end. I mean, we had nothing on board except for a receiver, a servo, and a little, receiver pack. And we used one of those old wiper speed controls to ignite the motor on the servo. So, I mean, I think I was 12, dude. I mean, give me a break. Yeah, so that's my experience with solid rocket motors and RC cars. I think I saw it in an RC Car Action magazine.
Hey, Logan.
Yeah, buddy.
Tell them the story about the potato gun.
Which one? You talking about the cheetah?
No, the one that you blew a hole in your dad's fishing room with.
I might have blocked that one out, dude. You got a better recollection of that? Because I'm not remembering that one.
It was in the garage. You built it right next to the Triumph.
What was it made out of?
PVC.
Oh yeah. Okay. You talking about the electric one?
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Okay.
Where you did the butane in order to
No, we tried butane because the electric thing didn't work. Right. Okay, so yeah, I'd gone to a paintball thing recently, where there were these guys from Sarasota. One guy was dressed up like Snake Eyes, and he actually had a paintball bazooka. So what he did is he set a PVC pipe, with all the fixings, and he had it set up with a lawn sprinkler valve and a 20-ounce bottle of CO2 for a paintball gun, so he could fire these 2 Dixie cups stuck together with about 20 paintballs in them wrapped in tape out of the barrel. It was effective. It was kind of cool. But so I thought I'd do something like that when I got home. So I tried to build one, and well, it didn't work. We couldn't get the valve to work right. I don't know if the sizing was wrong, the plumbing or something. It just didn't work in general. So I decided to put some butane in it and try to light it like an old, Polish cannon or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, and we put a big hole in the wall in the back of my dad's shop where he tied flies and made bamboo fishing rods. He wasn't too happy, and he also said my engineering was flawed, and that was a real blow to the ego. Let me tell you.
Yeah, the one good thing about your pop was he'd tell you that he would show you afterwards.
Oh, he'd never mess with you. He'd let you screw up.
Yeah.
And then when you screwed up, he'd be like, "What'd you learn?"
Right.
Yeah, Dad was awesome like that. Definitely wouldn't be what I am today without him. Oh, did I lose the inside drive? I think I did. No? Okay. No, I am way over shim then. Okay. What we got going on here? Oh! I double stacked it. Let's see, there's already one in there. Come here. Yep. Yeah. Now, if there's already one in the hole, you don't try to stick another one in because that's just weird.
Logan.
Hey, I'm telling you, man, those shims on axles, you got to watch out for that. You haven't done yet, buddy? Ah, almost dropped that. Come here. And on you go. Okay. There we are. Now we have our rear end in place. Now this is going to receive all new bolts due to the wing / wheelie bar / skid plate / bumper. This thing. Yep. That's how they do it. But you know what? I've beat the hell out of it and it hasn't broken yet, so I'm good with it. So I got to screw in there temporarily to hold that together. Oh, I don't know about you guys, but before I put a screw in with a power tool, I always go backwards first. When you hear it click, that's because it just centered the first thread. So you won't cross thread it. Works with everything. Where the hell is that going to go? Now I'm missing stuff. Oh, wait a second. That goes with that. Yeah, right. That goes with this. Because, oh no, wait, that one's separate. It's the other two that are in there. Where is it? Yeah, it's the other two. So I still need a bolt for that. All right, well, it disappeared. Groove feet and then track shoes shortly after. Or it ended up down here with those two shims I was looking for. Gotta love your magnets. Well, all right, ladies and jelly spoons. I don't know you guys, but I am about ready to call intermission because I'm an addict to the evil that is nicotine. So I would like to have a cigarette, even though I've done my best by wearing a patch and not smacking my lips constantly, chewing gum, because I do that anyway. So we will come back shortly and finish up this build. And if anybody wants to know anything about it, please ask. Whoa, hold on, Paul. You said a lot I didn't see, bro. Okay, right. 1,000 carbon. Oh, carbon frag wheels. Whoa. Future fire protectors with Viviton rubber Kevlar woven belted tires. Okay, that's new. Yeah, I know that. Yeah, okay, we went through that. I didn't see that stuff in the middle, bro. Oh, pumpkin chucking. Yeah, pumpkin chucking is like the epitome of let's see. If you own a truck anywhere in the country, you have a truck and you can drive it and you have it and you can put stuff in the back of it and you're cool. If you have a truck in Charlotte County, Florida, you have to make it as big and tall as possible with the most idiotic wheels that get no gas mileage and make a ton of noise on the road. And you never drive it off road. You never get it dirty. You just put these giant mud tires on it for no reason at all. and your gas mileage goes into the shitter, and your brakes wear out every other day, and your ball joints go to hell because you've given the suspension so much more leverage on those parts that are not designed for that, because you're an idiot, and you've got a tiny little ego.
Talking about pavement pounders.
So that's how it goes around here. Anyway, what was I getting on a rant for? Okay, right. So the pumpkin chucking devices that I've seen anyway, for the most part, are essentially just a giant air cannon. It's just like the Florida truck version of a normal truck air cannon. It's just way bigger, which is cool, and you don't have to have a micro ego to have one. So yeah, that's awesome. And I forgot to put the gasket in my front housing. And guess what's not going back in the car? Oh no, wait, I did it. Never mind. I thought well, nope, there's one right there. Did I put that one? Oh yeah, I did. Another one. Okay. Never mind. All right, so the steering's done. Front suspension's not done because I'm gonna go over suspension setup. And yeah, there's nothing loose that I will forget later. Back at 5. By the way, you guys are awesome. I appreciate your support. I appreciate you checking my channel, and I hope you're learning something. If you're not asking enough questions. And that's not on me. What is on me is looking fabulous.
What did you say?
Oh, but you I can take with me. What's up, buddy? Oh, I had to turn the mic off. There we go. Oh, you guys missed that. I just stepped on a bit. It kind of hurt. Oh, any new stuff? Nitrogen cannon was my dad's. 250-liter nitro. Holy crap, that's huge. Yeah, 18 feet, right. Yeah, I've seen the documentaries on that whole competition and everything, and I believe I did see one that was either in Ireland or Scotland. I'm not sure. It definitely wasn't England. But yeah, those things are awesome. They have a thing called a cheetah tire beater. That's essentially a small air tank, like 10-gallon, with a barrel on it and a quick release valve. And that makes a perfect air cannon. You just put a barrel on it. We used to have a 4-foot piece of muffler pipe, 2.5 inch. And you can shoot a 20-ounce bottle at 90 psi, about 100 yards, full of water. And it was sick. I got rid of it because it was too dangerous to have. Okay, so back to the rebuild. The usual RC car stand, tire. So the rear's already been checked out. The front, you need to make sure you got no binding in your suspension with your steering, maxed out either way, and then obviously no play. And there's a little bit of wear here, there's a little bit of play. And then what you want to do with your fronts, because you got these ball joints, you want to take each one, tighten them up, see if it moves still. That one got a little tighter, so I loosened that one up. This one, yep, see. Right, so tighten them up as much as you can without binding, and that'll give you the best possible performance. And come on. There we go. All right. Well, still sticking. There we go. All right. So shocks are already done. Got stock shocks with Century Springs, 10.5 pound or 10 1/4. Lucas Engine Honey as shock lube or shock oil. This is $9 at your auto parts store for, I don't know, a quart, half a gallon, whatever. And it's 140 weight. So I'm sure if you do the math, it comes out about right. 140 weight for a 10.5 pound spring compared to a 9.5 or a 7 pound spring, I think is the maximum that arrma does. And, it's about the right viscosity for that big spring. And that's how you get no bounce out of them. And no bottoming when you're doing massive jumps. Come on, get in there. Oh, and on any control arms, instead of running that stupid screw they put in to hold your shock pin in, the only way to do that is with a small set screw. It's underneath it, can't see it. It still grips it. It doesn't rub on your axle. It's a lot better. So that's how we do that. Charge. Get in there. Okay. So, yep, this will set screw. Holding your shock. I don't know, the lower shock rod thing, whatever. Let's see. Ratchet. Nope. Okay, so that's that. So now we get our car tipped over, front bumper. So let's see. This is a skateboard rail like they had in the 80s and 90s attached to the front of the bumper. And then that is a Garage Life RC front polyurethane bumper spring. Very nice piece. Thank you, Garage Life. So, and I'm sorry if I didn't mention anybody in the description. Like I dropped everybody's names last time. I just got busy today, and honestly, I was real tired when I got home. I didn't know if I was gonna be on or not. But I appreciate everybody checking it out. Okay. Where is? No, that's the bigger one. Oh, right. That one was beat up. What the hell happened to the other one? And this is what happens when you have too many tools out and you can't find anything. Seriously. So we back that up because it's going to hit the button. And here we go. Okay. So, right, that needs to go in the trash. It's a screw I just bought earlier. And we just need 2 counter soaks to go in the back of the bumper. And yeah, I always run the Super Bash armor bumpers pretty much on everything, even my Speed Typhon, if you want to call it that, Typhon XXL. That's a Mojave chassis on that thing, by the way. It's what we call it. Skate rail, damn fun idea. Thank you very much. And tell Wayne that he needs his crate and he has scratches for bumpers. Yeah. Yeah, you definitely got to have the Super Bash. I mean, it's the only way to go. Like I said, I even got it on the speed car. It's the only bumper big enough that isn't crazy. You know? I mean, like some guys run the Mojave front setup on this thing. It's like, that's just ridiculous, dude. It looks like a clown car. And I mean, I've landed this thing nose down, straight square from, I don't know, probably 40, 30 feet at least. And I've done it from at least 20 feet on concrete in a skate park. So, I mean, you can see that on a couple of videos. All right. So, there's that. And then just got to tie in the rest of the front of it, which is just the upper 2 bolts. That go into that nice armor aluminum bulkhead, or not bulkhead, but A block, as they call it. The hinge fit blocks, they name them A, B, C, D, so that you know like what's what, because they're all a little bit different. Right. Oh, and we just put a washer on the screw here, and yeah, it gets quite deformed going into the polyurethane, but it doesn't tear through it. So yeah, put a washer on it, and tighten it down. It'll get cone shaped, but it'll save your polyurethane. And I got one of these bumper springs on every car in here, I believe. Even Nick has one. Nope, Nick has a stock one. That's Nick's outcast right there. I got to do the alignment on that in a little bit. That's pretty much the last thing I got to do this week. So tomorrow we will be ready to kill it. All right, so front suspension's done. Rear suspension, well, no, front I can still put in my mud guards. And then, yeah, we got to put on a rear unit there, and then we can do the setup. Usually with a setup, we type in rear hinge, we just don't look crazy. Have an upgrade, that's the way it goes. Mojave bumper setup, it is. Yeah, it is a PETA. It's an absolute PETA. So let's see. What was I just thinking here? Okay, so hinge, you mean like the hinge pin, or like the block, or like what do you tweak out? Because I've ripped up blocks, I've ripped up pins. I mean, I've never broken a pin, but I'd like to. I'm trying to find a titanium grade that will break instead of bend. Because when you bend a pin and you keep driving the car, you don't know a pin's bent, but you're screwing your control arms all kinds of screwed up. You know, you're walling out the holes and all that. And I mean, control arms aren't expensive, but you don't want to buy them right away. So, I mean, it's better that way. So I'm trying to find a titanium that's of the right grade to where it's lightweight, obviously somewhat easy to work with, but will break instead of bend. Because if you break a titanium pin, obviously you've hit pretty hard. So it's not a big deal to break it. And I'd rather have it break than bend and screw up the control arm and everything else. Control arm, the pin. Pin carrier C or D, right? Okay. We're gonna type over. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Wish I could throw them out to you, bro, because I got a box full of them. Now you talk about D and C and D blocks, or even A and B blocks. So, yeah, that's that whole middle part. That's all hinge pin blocks, and then that's all bearings, and then the upper two. The front two are all body mounts. That's what that thing is for. I seriously, like, with all the upgrades I do for people and stuff, I get overrun with parts, and I end up giving them to the hobby shop to hand out. Just if people need something, don't have it. Because a lot of us are nice. A lot of us are, just normal people, just doing our 9 to 5 and getting by. So not all of us can afford all the MTC goodies. So God knows I'd love to. I do have an MTC chassis, thanks to my wonderful wife, because she won a $500 raffle from M2C at Armageddon. And she said, yes, you can have something. So I got a chassis.
I let you have an allowance.
And it is beautiful. And it is super badass. Because I've bent some chassis. Oh, let me tell you. I think I saw the old one for the Titan. Yeah, right? Let's see, somewhere. That was pretty good. That's the good one, yeah. I think this might be the old Typhon chassis. Or it could be the one out of the crate. I'm not sure. But if you look at it, not only is it bent, it's twisted. Yes, she is an amazing woman. There's an old Mexican proverb. A house does not stand on its foundation. A house stands on the shoulder of a good woman.
Where are you going to get one of those?
Might want to rethink that one, Dozer. Oh, anyway, all right. That's done. So we're in a crazy block thing, right? Yep. Okay. So this nifty little nugget. All right. Get that through there. Yeah, it's kind of not the easiest thing to install when it's all together already, but it does work. So I get that one bolt out of the back. Yep. That was one of my nuts just dropped. All right. So, and don't even tell me how to line up now. There we go. All right. Oh crap! Not a red. Where'd he go? All right. So that one. And another weird thing about this setup with the wing mount and all that, the spacing is different. Like whatever spacers you have for your wing mount, that one's busted up. It's not going to line up the same. I'm not sure why. I haven't really looked into it. I just kind of threw some spacers in it because I threw it on like last week when I was like wait for getting everything up and running. Because I've got 4 cars that I have to keep up at all times, 6 S's. And then, anything that Nick can't fix, of course, is dropped in my lap because he's kind of new to the game. Just saying, what's a little bashing and see. Cool, man. Well, welcome, dude. You missed the diff build, but if you have any questions about it, because doing this for as long as I have with, no, I was wrong. That is the right bolt. a woman who is extremely good at bashing freestyle. I've had to build some diffs. And I think I finally about nailed it down. So if you want to know any of the tricks or tips, I would be happy to tell you. Appreciate you stopping by, though, dude. Yeah, I haven't had a lot of regular videos out lately because I've been, I've been doing this. And also, as you guys know, we just had a couple hurricanes and things have been a little nuts. But, getting it done, getting by. All right, I'm not sure exactly what just happened here. There's some kind of spacer on the back of that. Is that why the spacing was off? I'm thinking so. It helps when you actually put it in place. Oh, and these back bolts too on the arrma 6S's. Get rid of those button heads. You can run these. Oh, there you go. Socket head, nice long screws. You can get these at Ace Hardware, your local hobby shop, Home Depot. Speaking of Home Depot and Lowe's and all those places, body clips. Get them there. Cheap. They call them hinge pins. All right, so same length, whatever. All right, cool. I'm gonna run that one through. Oh, I can through this side of this. Okay. Get in there. Yeah. I think I got a driver for that. Yep. So yeah, bolt doesn't quite want to line up, but a little bit of persuasion, a little bit of elbow grease. We'll get things done. Especially because this is just kind of like, sitting funny. And loosen that back up a little so I get the shims in it. There you go. Yes, sir. And this is just about to be ready for setup. But we're going to set up mixed truck instead because one, his needs it more than mine does. Two, all right, so I was right about the shimming. So you're going to need essentially 2 short shims. Your normal long set, like these two, one long, one short, it's not gonna function with this setup. So you'd be better off running a short to short. If I can keep it in my hands. Oh, that's not the nut side. Yeah, let me take that back out. All right, so we're gonna go from passenger side through the shim. Get it in there and get it to hold for a second. I know I need another camera so I can have one above me showing all the retarded stuff I'm doing. Yeah, that might kind of work. All right, so we got through that one, through the chassis brace, into the next one. Oh, which I dropped. So short on both sides. Come on, push back. There we go. Get that lined up with the bolt, and through we go. Yep, that'll do it. Now we just need the nut that drops. Yeah, I wish it took flight. All right, new nut. And nuts. Nuts. There we go. And let's get that little guy threaded up. And like I said before, whenever you're setting a bolt with a weird angle or whatever, back it off first. And then put her in. But it helps if your nut's fully seated too. Ah, you bastard. All right. So, I don't know how the old one fell out when this one's so hard to put in. Seriously? All right. So, once again, something fighting me, causing complications. Get on in there. El bastardo. There we go. like a glove. And we've got a solid setup. Now, it looks like this top end's going to need a spacer too. Oops. And of course, make sure your drive shaft's not running. All right. So, yeah, got the spacers in. That's going to work. Short on both sides, but it looks like the top part needs a spacer too. But right now, it's locked in. I'm happy. We're good. As long as there's no play in it, it's not going to break. Or not going to have a tendency to break. It depends on how hard you land the damn thing. God knows we've done some 30, 40 feet up off the spine at the skate park and landed flat bottoms. And that tends to break a car. I mean, even if you land on all four wheels in slow-mo, if you've seen that one video, my wife's truck, it's freaking ugly. I mean, the whole thing flexes. All right. There's that. Hey, babe.
Hey,
You
babe.
got a minute? You already set the dogs out for their treat?
What?
Did you set the dogs out for their treat? Okay, never mind.
Set the dogs out?
Never mind.
I missed the memo.
What do you do? All right, so done. At this point, if I was going to set this truck up, I'd put it on a smaller tire or something solid, not a tire. Don't use anything that wobbles. Solid flat surface, right? Some kind of gauge to gauge your droop. Set all your droops exactly equal. Well, front equal, rear equal. Make sure there's no play in the suspension, like your shock doesn't bottom out before your droop hits, because if you don't have an O-ring underneath your piston inside your shock, you will break shock piston that way. So set your droop square. When your droops are square, set your ride height. About you guys, I run a little rake. I always like to have my cars a little higher in the back because under acceleration, you're going to be flat. So all four wheels will get the best traction. Not so much on the stunt truck, but definitely on everything else. What else? I run half a degree camber in the rear. Well, the stunt truck I run 0. On the big truck, I run half a degree camber in the rear, half a degree in the front. Caster's not adjustable with RPM arms, and I don't use the adjustable blocks in the front. I do use the TRL blocks in the back. Oh, if you can see them. Yeah, little gold guys back there. Right. So that gives you adjustable toe and adjustable anti-squat. Anti-squat is a thing that works. Try it. So I'm running 4 degrees of anti-squat, which is maximum, and 1 degree of toe, which is maximum toe out. These things come with 3 degrees, a little bit excessive. Even on the big truck, on the speed car, I think I'm going to add a little more toe back into it because it's getting hard to keep that back end straight. You've seen the videos. So that's pretty much it. That's a base setup. Oh, and toe. All right, front toe. Put your car level on a surface like this with the wheels on it, right? And you got your upper wheel. If you want 0 toe, put a level on it or just eyeball it and adjust your rods until it's 0. As long as your surface is at 0 and that's at 0, you're 0. If you want toe in or toe out, you can eyeball it. You can get a gauge, whatever you want to do. There's a bunch of different ways to do it. So that's that for that truck. Like 3 degrees of toe. That's stock on all arrmas, bro. 3 degrees of rear toe. I mean, if you look at them, seriously, if they're like, yeah, that's the stock toe blocks. So with the TRL tuned Typhon blocks, and it's kind of a pain because the little plastic adjuster guys, they break and whatnot. And the pins are supposed to be a different length. I just use the big pins. The very back there, you can't see from there. That's a trimmed down Mojave D block cover, trimmed down to fit over the TRL block And you can use the stock pins. They're going to blow a hole in your back adjuster blocks, but that cover will keep them in place. And you don't have to run the short pins that tend to pop out. So there you go. Yeah. So this truck is like, there we go. So that is 1 degree over a toe. Nick should be stock, I think. So let's see here. No, Nick's got blocks in his too. And he's probably running 1 degree because if I set it up, it's at 1 degree. I think Claire's only got the rear blocks. Claire's only got the rear blocks, so that's probably 2 degrees. If I can square it up to the damn thing. Yeah. So you can see that's probably 2 degrees a toe. But yeah, like I said, we like to take it all out. Okay, so setup time with Nick in his car. There we go. Plus, I gotta go over this thing. He beat it up the skate park pretty bad. So this is Nick's Outcast 6. Dish feel okay. Center diff is way too loose. See that? You can just roll that. Yeah, that center diff has got to go. So I'm just going to start there. Well, first I'm going to take the wheels off it. Get my nifty little wheel removal tool here. There we go. All right. Get these back flips off of here. And let's fix that center diff of Nick's. I think I'm probably just going to earplug it. See what it looks like when I get it out of there. Okay, so we got our pins. Release one. Yep. That out of that center brace. These things are such a pain to get out. I don't know why they make it so difficult. Oh, come on, you really? No, I see why he didn't polish them. The center pins on the chassis or body braces, I guess, the armors, right? Black guys here. Yeah, polish the crap out of those. And it doesn't hurt to put a little grease on them to get them in and out. Because if you ever take one out, you know how much of a pain they are. Yep, and let's see here. The center brace, get that out of the way. And then we got this cover. All right. And boom, 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 boom. Oh, yeah, one thing that'll help. Moving center diff every time because they're a pin bastard. If you take the bolt out of your rear chassis brace, it'll make it so you can take out the spacers, move that thing over, give the axle some more room. Of course, it's got the stock bolts in here, not the nice bolts like I told him to use. I'm just throwing stuff everywhere because it's fun. So, yeah. Oh, come on, really? Oh, son of a bitch. All right, so he set this up so it's not able to come apart. Thanks, Nick. All right. So, center differential. No, so we need some of that. Okay. And here we go. So Nick's center diff is useless. Let's see what the hell's wrong with it. Obviously, I put it together. Probably used a light fluid because he asked for it. So I definitely want to have on that white setup. Not on a bachelor truck, not on a stunt truck especially. All right, so you can see a little bit of rub in here. We got one of the screw heads is a little marked up. I don't know if you guys can see it, but there's a little bit of silver specks on the inside of that gear. It's obviously metal dust. Rubbing. Yeah, it's been rubbed on the motor mount. Yeah, it's rubbed on the other side. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you see on that other brace right there. I don't know if we can move my finger. Right there, yep. You see the marks on that. One of the screws got loose on it. Just like I was saying earlier, it's really hard to get those screws to stay in if you get any kind of crap in them. And this is not okay. We got nothing in there, pretty much. I mean, there's enough to lubricate it, but yeah. So, yep, we're going to get a plug in. All right. Oh. Chip from K&K. Nice. Cool. Jesse's still up. Excuse me, guys. I do have to call a friend of mine. I told him to be nice because he's alive. Oh, earplugs, right? Okay. Hey, buddy. Yeah, we're up. I'm live on the YouTube. All right. Well, if you want to come by, man, I'm here. Yeah, but I don't want to come by. I want to be home my own house. And she trying to tell me, oh, you fucked up. You did this. Hey, bro, you're live on YouTube, dude. All right. I love you. Bye. All right, bye. Yeah, well, no, can't fix everything. Oh, cool. All right. Let's see. Right, red, black, white. Right here. Okay, so put half an earplug in there. And as you can see, it's already kind of squashed to fit everything. This is actually an LSD setup. I think what I was doing when I put this together is I wanted him to try an LSD with a lighter setup to see if lighter fluid would actually make it work right. Because sometimes, well, I haven't had any luck with those with heavy fluid. Crap, what am I missing here? Yeah, 3 years, rebook for right. About what did we tell out? This thing is a 4, right? Let me just send over and send over. See. But need the motor mount. Yeah, no, that's what happens with these screws. They come out a little bit. There's not a lot of clearance there. So, I mean, if you're out like 4 threads, you're going to be eating them out. And like I said before, if you get any fluid in there when you're putting your diff together, when you're pulling it down and your fluid, extrudes and comes out into the holes, then your Loctite won't work. So that's why I've been doing the backside as your last side to put together, because if you do the gear side, especially on front and rear diffs, it's going to eat them if a bolt comes out. And it just seems to work better. Plus, I'm doing my shimming on the front side behind the bearing. So hopefully this fixes what we need to fix. Essentially, that earplug will just dissipate over time. Because it is also silicone, so it'll biodegrade, kind of, as you want to call it. I don't think the LSD will work anymore because the viscous style LSD requires fluid to flow through the holes, which is probably why I put a light fluid in here. But obviously, it didn't work out. It was spinning that easily. So we'll go back to the old way of doing it. Yeah, I think the LSD was a good idea, but the design just didn't really function for what they wanted. I mean, They probably should have gone with the Torsen style, you know, with the multiple gears, because that is a much better setup. LSD. So they used to run on the old 8-scale Mugen off-road gassers. They were all badass. You know, so yeah, they're kind of bulletproof. They're all mechanical. There's no plates to wear out. There's no. Well, you could break them, but it's kind of rare. I don't know. I had one of my Civic. That was pretty awesome. I used to have a high performance Civic. Shut up. I can hear you guys already. All right, so these axles are stuck way down there. Where are my forceps? Here. So I'm gonna get the rear back in the hole, and I gotta get it ready to go into the front. And that one, I'm gonna go right there. Gosh. Okay. So let's get this out of the way. Yeah, I definitely wish I had another camera for you guys right now. Excuse me, I gotta blow my nose again. All right. Okay, so center diff, center drive shaft, front center drive shaft, and okay. So I'm gonna get the first one, and he doesn't have any shims in here either. Damn it, Nick. Oh, I guess I gotta do that now too. All right. So just take a little bit of fuel line. I'm trying to do this where you guys can see it, maybe. Okay, just a little tiny chop with a nice sharp razor. Just make yourself a couple of those. Nope, wrong way. There you go. Just a little donuts out of fuel line, just like that. Just put one in each end. You have your center diff. You can usually push them down, and if you got the right size fuel line, they'll hold themselves in there, so you can put it together. And then got that, and bang, bang. Get back up there. The battery tray. None of you guys saw the battery tray listed, but it's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my life. It's not designed for this car, obviously. And try to get them all lined up and go in as one piece. And then that is how you make the hamster bite the monkey. Got it. There we are. Just a perfect lash right there. Just a little tiny bit of play. Like a gear lash right there. It's exactly how you want it. Tight as possible, still having a lash. And check it in at least 5 or 6 spots. Rotate it. Because if you don't, you could have a tight spot or a loose spot. That's usually used to your bolts not being equally tight in the gear, and or bent gear or bent housing or something, bearing. A lot of things can throw you off, but always check your mesh in at least several places. Because you could have a tight spot and not know it, and you go out driving around, making all kinds of noise. Everybody's like, dude, what's wrong with your car, man? You know, you don't want that. Nobody wants that. Okay, where did all the bolts go? They were there. And since we're going into aluminum, a little more red Loctite. We just probably have enough in it by now. Doggy doggy to the rescue. Yeah, there's probably have enough Loctite on already. So here's that. And then I'll show you the difference. I'm going to put the wheels back on, but I'll give you an idea. Okay. And the center brace, and then the back bolt. Because that didn't want to come out very nicely. Okay. And here's that. Oh crap, bunch of new messages. Hold on. Urban family LSD stuff for old school mechanical, easier dialing too. I absolutely agree with you, bro. Good on paper, not great. Exactly. I mean, it was an interesting design. You know, the engineering behind it was kind of cool. But it just doesn't work. They should have copied, a proper automotive setup. Like the Torsen, like I said. Looks and sounds good to me. You set them with 1,000 shim. That's about feeling right. Yeah. No, I get you. Yeah, that's why I'm shipping them all by hand now. I don't know if you caught the beginning of the video, but if you didn't, it's all diff work. Like I started out with nothing, open case, no, just parts, and built it up by hand and went through all the steps and the processes and the shimming and what I've learned through time in order to make my diffs last, and hopefully it helps somebody, because I know blowing these things up on a regular is not cool, especially with the price of the parts on the EXPs. They're a little pricier than the old ones. I've got tons of parts for those sitting around that I'll never use. I'll give away to somebody who's got them, I guess. Yeah, see, this thing won't even move, dude. Like, that's got to be fixed. All right, so fix. Ow. Ooh, sorry. Fix pins that don't want to move. Easy and fun. Where is that piece of emery cloth I had? No, get it over. That'll work. A little emery cloth. We got here 400 grit. It's not in public. I don't want to hear it. Yes, babe, I'm putting up videos on YouTube of me polishing my shaft. Make sure you polish it hard, but when it gets warm, let off a little. So essentially just getting off all that coating, and you're probably only taking like a 0.5 of an inch off it, but it's really all it takes to make it slide through there, and just a little dab of this stuff. A little Lucas Red and Tacky on the end of it, and slide her on in, bruh. Just like so. Oh, look at that, like butter. So that makes it a lot easier to get off your little cage there, body brace, whatever the hell you want to call it, and to locate your pinhole and clock it to the point where you can actually get a pin in it. Why is that doing that still? Okay, not in the right place. Why is that so hard to do? I don't know why they set these up like this. Anyway, so line it up, get the pin in it, call it a day. So that's going to be the middle diff. I'm going to figure that out later. So now you should not be able to turn this with tires on. It's going to roll the front tires too. It's going to go lock together. That way when you do a wheelie, you don't unload the front, blow the tires off the wheels, which we all know is so much fun. Or when there's, anything else, you're not going to unload one end or the other. Oh, right. Yes, absolutely. It's a thing. Diff fluids will change drastically during a run due to friction heating. That's why we run some of the weight we do, because you will lose viscosity due to heat. And in Florida, when it's usually 90 degrees outside year round and 100% humidity year round, yeah, stuff gets hot. Like your undercarriage. All right, so that's done. Yeah, this is just ridiculous. I mean, all these screws coming out the bottom. Nick, come on. What are you doing here, man? So anyway, I told him I'd go over his truck, check it out, because he did beat the crap out of it last week. Make sure everything's tight. This is just kind of a, I guess, every 2 battery run checkup. On my car, you could call that about a 6 battery run checkup. I call that a half build because you take the front and rear end off, but you don't really do much with the center. It's not a complete rebuild, obviously. Those hubs seem fairly good. Control arms got some wear on them, but they're hanging in there. Front and upper fronts do badly. And this is why there's holes in my ramp, because the screws are coming out the front. Thanks, dude. All right, so everything down there is tight. I don't know about that damn thing he's got. This is actually one of the early bash bars that I used to make because I thought it would help, but kind of just adds weight to it. God, Brody, you scared the crap out of me. My dog just laid his whole head on my foot. I thought I was having a stroke and started tingling and feeling weird. Oh, okay. Opposite. Yeah, I imagine when it gets cold, your 500,000 weight turns into 2 million weight. Yeah, I can see that for sure. So you got to drive the balls off it in order to get the stuff heated up to work right. I mean, that makes complete sense. All right, done with that. Let's get this stuff out of the way here. We'll get the setup going on. Like I said, this table isn't that flat, but this is probably one of the flattest parts. Just need something solid to put it on. Oh, Brody boy. Poor puppy. Give me just a second, guys. I gotta go grab a piece of Tupperware. Trust me, it works. Oh. Sorry you have to watch everything in silence.
You grab me a Coke?
Yeah. There you go. Okay. So, because these are truly flat, it's a good thing to do a setup on. If you're not hitting all the stupid nuts in that stupid bar. Right, so we got droop first, and you can go and take the shocks off to make sure that you don't have any binding or anything like that. I've already done it with this truck, so we're going to set droop first. Get right up to the bottom of it. And let's see, we got some room over here. Over here, I believe. Yep. So we'll take a touch out of this side. Yep, should be that. I would recommend the MCC droop screws. They're double-sided and they work wonders. Can't even see the damn thing. All right. So, there we go. No, not enough. Wait, no, it's this one's still a little too high. All right, so all right, now we're good there. Back side. Way down there. This one. Yeah, okay. These are one side screws, of course. So take a look at slippery, huh? Yeah. Okay, so this is way high. So, but okay, I see what the problem is here. We got too many shims on this one. Somebody changed the control amount and didn't put all the shims back. Not me. All right, there we go. Done. Equal. Okay. So that's done. Now we got camber toe. Well, rear toes are reset. Oh, by the way, these are rebuilds. There's strip of hub out. Yeah. So I got this from, God, I can't remember. It might have been East Tactics. What up, dude? So you take a hub, hex, and wrap it in Teflon tape so it doesn't get stuck. Use some JB Weld. Obviously, clean everything with alcohol. Put some JB Weld in the stripped out hole. Put your hub in there. Bolt it down if possible. Sometimes you can't because it'll start spinning and it screws up your JB Weld. And let it sit for 24 hours and come back, and you'll have a new hex. There'll probably be some Teflon tape stuck in it, but whatever. And these wheels have already been run once, and they're fine as far as that goes. Come on, really? How loose is that front diff? I wonder if that's an LSD too. I might have been using Nick as a guinea pig to test the last of the LSDs. There's a good possibility on that. Because, yeah, like everybody says, haven't had any luck with them, so pretty much got rid of them. Okay. I'm done with that. So rear toe, obviously already set. I think on Nick's I'm running, running 1 degree of toe, which is the minimum and probably maximum anti-squat as well. Because he did pay for the little plastic inserts, block adapters. So of course I'm gonna give him the good ones. Love you, Nick. Speaking of which, shouldn't he be home by now?
Soon, please.
Yeah. All right. So there's your 4 wheels on. And as with anything, even in a real car, you always set camber first and then toe. Camber will affect toe. Toe won't affect camber for the most part. All right. So this room here. And yeah, it does. Big thing is to use the 24-hour stuff. Don't use the quick stuff. Yeah, the original JB. Yeah, if you use the quick stuff, it doesn't hold as well. There's a congregation. All right. So let's see. Obviously, crap. I don't know what time to put it on the table, but Jesus, this one is way. Hopefully this fits my wrench. And yeah, cool. All right. Let's get straightened out. It's probably running about 3 degrees back there. It's still really bad. Yeah. Or I'm going the wrong way. It's a possibility. I'm going the wrong way. I should make it a ratcheting wrench for this. That'd be pretty cool. Yeah. Yeah, I was surprised it held too, because I tried it with crazy glue a couple times. That didn't work out. Yeah, about 1/2 degree. Yeah. Done. All right. So got that one. And then this looks like, it's positive a little bit. Now, of course, always check your hub wiggle there, because if you got any hub wiggle, you can put pinion shims on the inside of the hub behind the hex, and that will tighten it up. However, when you start feeling your bearings start grinding, you got too much shim in there. All right, and then the front end, I always keep the bottom locked all the way in, and those little red spacers they give you that go over them to help keep the control arm together. Get rid of those, because they keep the control arm pushed out so bad you can't correct your camber without pulling your axle out of the hole. That's the thing. So If you got those little red spacers that come with them, get rid of them. Yeah, his controllers are worn out. Uppers are anyway. All right, we're good there. And one more there. Yeah, we'll set the toe. And that's pretty much a base setup. Other than that, I mean, your shock building, make sure your shock collars are all level. Like I said, make sure your droop is above the amount that your shock travel is. So that your droop is actually stopping the shock from coming all the way out. Nick runs sway bars in his car. I don't run sway bars on anything. I don't think they're necessary. Besides, if anybody doesn't know, sway bars take away traction. Because the car is not allowed to roll as far in the corner, you don't load the outside tire as hard. Therefore, you have less traction if you're running sway bars. And that's our toe angle right there. So, as long as this table's level, which it kind of is, and obviously we're opposite up top, so we adjust that up. And I'll have to retrim it for him because Nick has not mastered the art of trimming his remote yet. Let's see here. Oh, there is a good deal of play in that. That is a lot of movement, Nick. Wow. Believe it or not, that is all in the links. Yeah, that is all in the links. So we got toe in there and toe out there. So we got active toe. But yeah, all his links are worn. Every end link. Yep. None of them are loose. Like the bolts aren't loose. They're just worn. So, however, when you buy a used vehicle, I mean, one of these, you definitely need to go through it. So, all right, we got 0 toe in the front, degree in the back, pretty much half a degree, roughly a camber in the rear, 0 camber in front. We're running, should be a little bit of rake, but it doesn't look like it. So, we can drop the front just a hair. This is also run on Century Springs. However, he's not running the same damping we are. It really doesn't drive the same way me and Clara do. So, I mean, it's kind of cool. It's okay that he's not doing the same exact setup. Yeah, see, that's a little bit of rake. That's how you want it. That way, under acceleration, you're going to squat the back a little bit and have it more level under acceleration. Of course, under braking, you'll be nose diving, but that loads the front tires, gives you more grip for braking, more grip for steering. In fact, if anybody out there doesn't know what trail braking is, I would look it up on YouTube and learn how to do it. It does work with RC cars too, not just in real cars, not just in race cars, which that's how I know it from not driving race cars, but being a race car mechanic and also my simulator, because I hit that thing every night for release. Oh, diff, right? I told you the front diff is loose before, right now. Oh, my center drive shaft came out. You son of a bitch. How did that happen? Well, good thing I caught it. Some cars you just can't teach. So, all right. Let's see how fast I can fix that. But other than that, this thing's done. I got to set up mine. The one I just put back together, my stunt truck. I got to go through the speed car, but that's that. If anybody wants to see any of the cars on the wall, by the way, use biocarbonate soda. Biocarbonate soda. I've never heard of that. Cracks on freezing. JB Weld and radio. Huh. Yeah, I'm not a chemist, so I've never heard of that, but I'm sure there's a reaction there that works if that's what you're doing. Biocarbonate soda and credit. Oh, that's interesting for sure. Oh, all right. Evil bastard, you. See how fast I could drop all 4 screws in the hole. Oh, that would have hurt. God, I hope the dog slows him down there. Thank God. Magnet, that's what I was looking for. Yeah. All right. Center diff. Evil pain in my ass. Come on. Get that in front. Nope. One thing I don't like about these things is it's hard to see in the front end at all when it's all together. I mean, I know it's got to be beefy, but like you can't even see the drive shaft and drive cup. You know, there's like no window to it. But that's engineering on another level, I guess. Ah, oh, come on, you. So, there you are. Get in the hole, you son of a bitch. Let's see this really be evil. There we go. Okay. Now. Come on. Just give me a little more. Okay. Get in there, bastard. Gotcha. All right. When in doubt, just get rough with it. All right, where is the pin job on this? Because this is going to be with these pins. I don't know why they make them like that. Even when they're pushed all the way together, you can't see the pinhole, so it's kind of stupid. So. All right, well, that's fixed. Now I can show you what it looks like to have a freaking piece of earplug in your diff. I still got to find the other two bolts, too. Well, we got one. It's not too long out. No, you got to find another one. There we go. All right. Center brace back down. And then get that pin in, and we should be good. Like a glove. And there we go. Making certificates of right chrono car and bombers, bicarb particles, and make super strong. It get brittle at about 5 degrees. Oh, okay. So kind of like tempering the glue, I guess you could say, taking the brittleness out of it. That makes sense. So there's your center diff now. So that's what it should be. Now it will move, but it takes a lot to do it. But that way you won't unload the tires when you're doing a wheelie, because if you're doing 20, these will go up to 40. And if you're doing 60, well, you've got no more tires. That's all there's to it. Cool. All right, so there you go. There's a setup on that monkey. Where's his body? There it is. Throw that on there. J Concepts bodies. Some of the best stuff I've ever used in my recent RC times. Super tough, lasts forever. I think I've had my current one about 6 months. I never had an arrma body go for more than 2. That's about it. This is actually a Creighton body that's got an outcast, but I'm about to get a couple more bodies for the outcast that fit that size. So there goes that guy. Okay. Well, might as well just throw this down for fun. Oh, there's the big truck. We got the what do you call them on there now? The fire team wheels, tires. I tend to change it up once in a while, depending on what I'm doing with it. I was running my skate park tires on it the other night. Yeah, those shims, those hubs need to be shimmed up big time. but she's taking a beating recently. Yep, same thing. Okay. Well, I mean, you can check this thing out if you want, but other than that, I mean, I'm kind of done unless you got any questions. I'm really about ready to eat. Thank God I don't have to work tomorrow. So yeah, another J Concepts. This is the one I told you has been like 6-7 months. I mean, it's starting to crack now, but man, it's still in good shape. Oh, this my baby. This truck drives so good. Every time I drive, it's just like it's phenomenal. I love it. Like it's the MTC chassis on this one. Solid as a rock, man. Any problems with that at all? MTC carbon mud guards in the back. See those like right there? Yep. Oh, that sucks. MTC shock conversion kit, emulsion kit. Same rear wing mount, skid plate, bumper, etc. that I got on the other car. Same C&D blocks for adjustability. EXP shock tower in the front and at the back. RPM arms, HR hubs. And yeah, this is still running 140 weight, just like that. And it's slow in the front, but you know, doesn't bounce. Works good. It's stuck in there, so now. We got the Hobby Wing 1650 Max Success G2. Use lots of buyers from Team Tip Most Sport. Yeah, I've never heard of them. Back and forth ABS, right? 8 scale. Cool. Awesome. Thank you for the tips on the JV. Well, no problem. Like I said, I got it from somebody else. I think it might have been what's his name? East Tactics. It might not have been. It was somebody. Can't remember. Yeah, I know, right? When you got like first 6 stripped out wheels, and you know you got 3 more that match, and it's like you can't run them together. It's like sucks. You got to buy another pair, and if they're not worn out, if they're half worn, you know that's yeah. I feel you on that one, bro. But yeah, no problem, man. Anything I can help with for sure. Oh, I told you about the trencher tires. So let's see here. These are the trenchers. These are Badlands. Right. Okay. So I told you about the Badlands and the trenchers, right? So that's a Badland. Oh, no, that one. Yeah, that's a Badland. That's the Proline one I told you about. And that's a trencher. So that's the one I told you would be better for the mud. This one doesn't because it's an earlier one, but the new ones have replaceable hubs. So if you strip them, you can replace the hub, which is cool and all. But once you get your tire game on really proper, you don't really strip hubs anymore. We do use Loctite on them. Just a touch of blue, like a drop, not even a drop, just a little on the hubs before you tighten them up, and that'll keep them from coming loose. Once you get a good buildup on there, you know you can stop putting Loctite on because obviously it's gonna stick. So, but that's the thing. Oh, is that where I got it from? DRC? Yeah, it might have been because I watched him too. Could have been you, man. I don't know. Like I said, I forgot, man. I'll remember in 5 minutes. Is how it works when you get older. But yeah. Thank you for whoever I got it from. Anyway, yeah. So that's it. I'm getting hungry, and I still got to do my laps on my simulator. I usually run about 50 miles a night. Maybe tonight I'll do Nürburgring, Spa. I don't know. I'm a sucker for those little tracks. But yeah, you guys got anything before I go? And thank you so much for coming. I had a great time. I don't know about you guys, but this is cool. I need to get back in my videos, though. I mean, I really have been lagging. I've got a lot of stuff. I'm kind of transferring to PC, and the user interface on the editing software is totally different. Same program, but I don't know how to do half the stuff because I learned it on my phone. I've been editing on my phone up until like 2 months ago. And I've only released like 2 videos on the desktop, and those are the last 2. When you are as old as me, you forget to remind yourself what not to forget. I love that. That's great, man. Yeah, dude, you definitely got some years on me. I'll give you that. Nice hanging out. I was wrenching myself. No problem, man. Great. I mean, that's the kind of thing, a bunch of guys get together and wrench together, even though we don't live nearby each other. I mean, I usually have somebody right here, but Nick's at work and Clara told me to go F myself. So, right, babe?
I don't know who you are.
See, that's what I'm talking about. So, gentlemen, Godspeed, good night, and great hanging with you. We'll do it again. I might wait a little bit on the next one, maybe a week or two. Just I've kind of been saturating the channel with the live things, and got to keep it moving, keep it interesting. But you guys are awesome. Cheers, absolutely, bro. And give the dogs a treat for me. Absolutely, will do. And throw dog a treat. Absolutely, bro. Man, you're awesome, bro. I'm so glad you're a subscriber and a friend. You're a good dude. Maybe someday I'll get back over the pond and catch up, because that's definitely one of the countries I want to go to that I haven't been to yet. And cheers to you, Dozer. Take it easy, guys. Love y'all.